Hi guys, welcome back to more bus conversion videos. I haven't got much more done since the last episode. I think it was episode 10, so this one will be 11. Haven't got much done because just like everyone else, I don't have a bucket load of cash, a big pot of gold I could just dip into and do it, or get someone else to do it. Unfortunately, you know, I can do so much, then you run out of money, have to go back to work, earn some more money, build up a little bit more capital to put into the bus, and then I can do some more. It's been quite a few weeks now. We had Christmas, we've got Christmas out of the way, and then the school holidays and stuff. The kids are back at school now. I've gone back to work, caught up a bit on work. And now I've got some time to put a bit more effort into the bus. So it's a labour of love. Will get done in due course. Thanks for being patient. And I guess the difference with this is these videos are being recorded in live stream. It's everything that gets put up has been done within weeks of following the video. So this is where I'm up to now. I've got a couple of walls lined, which I'm pretty happy about. It's starting to look good, and I'll show you guys my progress so far. So to start off with, gee, it sounds a lot different in here as well. You notice a huge difference when you walk from the main area of the bus into the bedroom. A lot of the ambient sound, like the wind and the rustling of the trees, all of that's just gone. It's sort of deadened. And I think what's helped it is the insulation. Like, this is an internal wall. You know, they recommend only insulating external walls, but I'm going to insulate all walls. And for the insulation I've been using, you know, for some reason it's a general consensus to use like foam insulation in the bus or whatever, but I've gone ahead. I wanted some soundproofing quality with my insulation, so I've gone ahead and got this, what is this stuff called? Some bloody fancy sound insulation. Anyway, it's a Braddon acoustic insulation. As you can see, I've lined it in on the internal walls as well. All these nib walls have been aligned, but I really can notice the difference. It is absolutely quite amazing. I can hear the howling of the wind and the rustling of the tree leaves. Here, as soon as I walk in, silence. That's awesome. That is really, really good. That just, yeah, no, that's great. That's excellent. Having that wall insulated is going to be beneficial as well, because that's where the kids' bunks are going to be, behind the back of that wall. So that should help keep things quiet for when it's bedtime and whatnot. So that's really good. Okay, in here, I tried with two different approaches as to how I'm going to fix the flat Colorbond sheet to the internal wall lining. My first approach was pop rivets. So I went out, I got surf mist in colour, and got surf mist pop rivets, and I've gone through and banged them in at every 200 intervals, and then every 200 on each stud as well. With pop rivets, aesthetically it's important not just to whack them in willy-nilly. If you're going to go with pop rivets, it's good to, you know, take your time and measure. I just cut a piece of batten, piece of stud, galvanised stud. I just cut that at 200mm, and that gives me a margin, a space, a template, 200mm template for where I want my pop rivets. So then I started off in one corner, kept going 200mm up the stud and 200mm across, and just worked my way around like that. So that way, when you know the pop rivets are exposed, you want it to look neat and tidy, and having 200mm intervals and having it all sort of symmetrical, it gives it a better aesthetic look. So I did that for these side walls. I tested it on the side walls to start off with, because most of the bed framing and everything's going to cover these little nib walls up anyway. So, you know, if I didn't like it, I'd just, yeah. And then for these taller walls, I glued them on with Sikaflex. I just used this bloody 227 Sikaflex. It's good shit. As you can see, them walls are solid, they don't make much noise in this cavity. I just put dobs of Sikaflex at intervals, at the same intervals where I would with pop rivets, so every 200mm sort of thing. And that wall's still got a bit of a rattle to it. But once I get the insulation in and close up the other side, it starts to sound a lot more solid. So aesthetically, with the pop, just by using the glue, the Sikaflexed all the studs, and so then there's no exposed pop rivet. We do have pop rivets along the edges, right the way around the perimeter. But what happens there when you do this, I'm still quite amazed with the sound quality difference when you walk into this room. It's like stepping into like an auditorium or something. that's amazing. I think I've done something right so far. So the pop rivets that follow the perimeter of the wall, they're going to get covered up with some flashing. When you do anything like this, when you set up, line anything with this type of profile, you always need to use end cappings and internal angles, just to finish it off. So with the internal angles in here, the internal angles I'm going to use just 50 by 50mm, 90-degree angles. I think 50mm is going to give me enough coverage to cover up all of the pop rivets. And when I go to fix the angles off and the end caps off, I'll just glue them in or Sikaflex them in, and then that way I cover up all the pop rivets, and then it just looks a lot more of a neat and sleek and finished profile. Yeah, so it's taken a while to get to this stage, but I'm glad I'm here. I think yeah, so all the capping, like I said, I want to get the bedroom done. I'll get all the capping all sorted out, and I'll get the bed section framed out as well. I'll look at doing that today, getting the bed section framed out. So yeah, first I'll finish this wall off. I'll get the insulation in. I'll run this feed. I do have one feed for 240 volt power, but I'm going to run another feed of cable, the same 3-course cable for 240 volt, but I'm just going to use this for 12 volt setup. I figure I've got, you know, 60 metres of it left on the roll. Why go out and buy special 6mm or 4mm 12 volt, you know, car cable when I can just use this. This is probably overkill, but it's there. It's only 12 volt, doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. So I'm going to use that. I want a 12 volt plug in the bedroom as well, so when we're not plugged into mains, plugged into land, what do they call that? Plugged in anyway, when we're not plugged in at a caravan park or whatever. Still got the option to charge phones and use whatever off the 12 volt system through the solar. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead. I'll get the sound insulation in this nib wall. I've already cut that out, ready to go. I'll get that fixed on, and Bob's your uncle. When you go to put a piece of cladding on, especially when you've got a lot of intricate cuts and angles and whatnot, it's always a good idea to dry fix it first. So I'll do that with this one. I'll dry fix it, see how she looks. Looks like a good fit. Doesn't have to be tight as a tiger sort of thing. You just need to bloody make sure it fits, and because I'm going to use 50mm trim, internal angles and end cappings and stuff, I've got 50mm play there, so where they butt together you can have a little bit of flexibility. So that fits the treat. I'm just going to glue him up. One good thing I've found is that these self-tapping button heads that I've been using, the diameter of the shaft is a perfect size for your pop rivets. So instead of going through with a drill bit and pre-drilling all your holes and putting the pop rivets in, what I'm doing is I'm banging these in everywhere that I want them, every 200. Screw off the whole perimeter of the sheet, and then I'll go out and I'll take them out individually and replace them with a pop rivet, and that works out well. I get two benefits from it. First one being the screws are going to hold the sheet in place where I need them. They're easy, they're efficient, and I can do it myself just by holding the sheet in place with one hand and banging the screw in with the other. And reason two is so I can come ahead, take these out, reuse them at a later date, and then put a pop rivet in to finish it off. having the pop rivets in there are going to allow me to put the flashing, all the angles and the end caps on, and they'll fit on nice and flush without the head of the pop rivet pushing them out and creating an undulated line. That's the theory anyways. Just fucking making this up as we go, so we'll see what happens. That's all glued up. I'll get the sheet on. Oh, where's the bloody pencil? Freak me. Oh no! Fucking getting ahead of himself. Forgot to put the insulation in. I thought that was too bloody easy. Freak me. I'm gonna have shit all over the fucking sheet. I'll get to the insulation part.